All right, we're back with it here. Starting this up cigar talk series where I just come out here, have a cigar with you guys, talk about life, talk about things that I'm interested in, things that you guys will be interested in if you like my channel, if you like what I'm about. Today we're smoking an Argyle Banquet Connecticut River Valley cigar. Highly recommended, really smooth, not very like smoky or anything like that. So it's definitely a great cigar if you want to just relax and chill on a nice day like it is here. Go ahead and get that thing toasted up. And today we're going to talk about just how losing 85 pounds wasn't what changed my life. It wasn't so much that I needed to lose the weight to become a better man. It was actually what happened while losing the weight that made me a better man. When you dig deeper, it's actually about how I showed up for my family more than I was showing up for myself. At first, you think it's all vanity and you think, oh, well, if I can just get ripped, life will get better. Things will start to shape up, this and that. But it wasn't until I was in Kuwait, 226 pounds at 5'8", mind you, and I was around Rangers. I was around Special Forces guys that were just getting it all the time. These dudes knew what they were about. They had a purpose, mission driven. And here I am saying that I'm a leader, but I couldn't even get up the steps without trying to catch my breath. Every night I was having frosted honey buns with a diet Dr. Pepper and some hot Cheetos, just really thinking I'm doing something, but I would still go in there. I could bench 225. I could deadlift 415, but I had a beach ball in my stomach. As you can see here, I still was not up to par as I should have been in that environment. Now, trust me, I wasn't always like this. When I first started basic training right out of high school, 145 pounds, I was running 12-minute 2 miles, 75 push-ups straight before I started to gas out. There wasn't low energy. There wasn't no drive to do anything better, but I wasn't showing up for myself or my friends and family and the soldiers that I was leading. And then it hit me, my wife is having a child in 7 months, and this is how I'm going to show up. This is how I'm going to look. And that's not something that I really wanted to sit with or could sit with. So right out the gate, when I got to Kuwait, I was ready to go. I was actually pushed back like a week from when everybody else left out, just so they could find the correct positioning of where we needed to be before I got to the base out there. And I purchased like a fitness thing from a special forces dude. It was run 4 miles a day, lift for an hour, and then just like, eat tons of protein and get your carbs in, and you're going to get stronger and you're going to get ripped on this deployment kind of thing. 2-3 weeks in, my weight didn't change at all, and I was gassed every single day. I could barely just show up to work just because of how much energy I was putting in. But I just wasn't doing things right. I just went balls to the wall, way too hard, way too fast, just like before. Then I would quit. And it wasn't until I took my foot off the pedal and actually dropped it down to 4 days a week, no running, got my steps in instead. I was doing about 25,000 steps a day out there because I didn't have anything else to do. I would just walk, walk, walk everywhere. And that's when I started noticing the change. It wasn't about putting in so much effort to see the change. It was actually about scaling it down and do what worked for me. Now, my nutrition was very dialed. I was eating the same things every day, kind of like I do now, but I was able to, in that 6-7 month period, because I got to leave to come home and see my daughter right as she was being born, about a week and a half early, so that's great. I was able to get down from 226 to 176 in that time period. And that's a pretty big deal. A lot of people struggle. I mean, even myself, I would get down to, oh, I just need to be 190 and I'm going to get ripped up. I'm strong. No, it actually took a lot longer. And then once my daughter was born, kept the train rolling, I got all the way down to 142 pounds by December. So I got out there in February. By December, I had lost 85 pounds and I was, ripped up pretty good. Thought I had a lot more muscle than I did, but it was really good to actually just stick with it and see that change and be able to show up for my family and for you guys. Now I'm here and now I can teach and show and help any way that I can, you know, because sometimes you want to hear it from someone that's like you or someone that's been through things that you've been through. And someone that really just stopped treating their health like an option, right? I could chow down on some quarter pounders and large fry every day, and then I'd come home after work and be like, hey, what's for dinner? Let's go get Chipotle or let's go get some Chick-fil-A, right? But I had to start building structure in my day to actually achieve the goals that I wanted. But that's like with anything in life. You want to lose weight, there's a structure to it. You want to build a business, there's a structure to it, right? You want to grow on Instagram, YouTube, on social media. There's a lot of structure that I didn't even know about that you need to be able to dial in and work on what's working. Same thing with working out. If you love running, just start running. You're going to lose weight. The more miles that you tack on, the better you're going to get at recovery. And you're going to become better at that thing. So if running is what you want to do that. If lifting weights, getting stronger is what you want to do, progressively overload, recover better, and get stronger. It's very simple, but there's so much information coming at us that we can't stick to one thing. And that's what really helped me out. I was able to stick to the same thing for 9 months to lose 85 pounds. I ate the exact same foods every single day. Chicken tenderloins with Japanese barbecue sauce and a giant bowl of yogurt with berries, brownie brittle, and some cheesecake flavoring inside of it every single day. Now, during that time period, we moved my parents out here to be closer to our daughter, their granddaughter, and they were with us for about 4 months. And my dad's a really great cook, and he would definitely cook every single day for my family, my wife, everyone, and they'd eat it. But I had a plan that I had to stick to, and I ate the same thing. Yeah, I nibbled on some things here and there, but I didn't stray too far out of my range of what I ate to get where I wanted to go. And they totally understand. They were happy for me. They're happy that I'm doing this now, that I lost 85 pounds and we're in the gym. They're in the gym with me as well. So it's definitely something that helped get me where I wanted to be. I had to really build momentum daily. I didn't want to get up and walk for an hour in the morning or walk for an hour at night, but I did. I was hitting 20 to 25,000 steps a day. Every single day, I bought a walking pad for my job and I bought a walking pad for at home. And then when I'd go to the gym, I'd walk in between my sets. I'd get about 2 miles in between that workout there because I'd take about 3-minute rests every set, walking on that treadmill at about 4 miles an hour, 3 to 4 some days. But I would prioritize that. Getting lean was my main goal, and I made it my mission. I kept it in the forefront of my mind, and I went after it. Now, the one thing that nobody talks about is it's not just about the weight loss. You actually start to feel like yourself again, like that old prime, right? A lot of guys, a lot of dads, I'm 34 years old, so being older in the world of social media, you're in that unk status. But what happens is you start to get back into it, and then you're in that groove. You feel stronger. Your family feels stronger. They feel it when you walk inside the house. And at one point, I stopped trying to build the body that I wanted, and I started to build the man that I was becoming. Because at first, you really are trying to look better, feel better. But then as you go along, things change. You start to notice, okay, I'm making this change. What change can I make here? And just implement the same strategy. Because you're either building the man that you want to become, or you're just drifting further and further away. Every decision that you make, I think of it like Captain America inside that little time capsule where he's all jacked up, right? You are building that visual person that you want to be. You're building your Captain America by every decision you make. Does going out to McDonald's and grabbing, you know, that quarter pounder, some chicken nuggets, things like that, make that right decision to create that person that you want? Or just coming home, cooking some chicken breast, some potato wedges, some broccoli, asparagus, things like that push you towards that goal. And that's what happens with everything in life. You have to understand that every decision you make is changing the direction that your life is going. And once you get good at making the correct decisions, everything just becomes like autopilot. And that's exactly what I did with my food, my money, my business. Like everything is on autopilot. So that way I can focus and tweak whatever the next thing that comes up is. I was just saying the other day, I noticed when I took a progress photo that my trap is actually a little bit slower over here than it is over here. So I have an imbalance that I have to work on. When I was fat, I didn't see anything. I just saw this big old belly. I didn't see anything else. But now I have to work on sitting up straight, doing different rows or different things that attack certain areas. And that's what happens in life. You start seeing things differently once you start creating the path and once you start making the right decisions. And if you're watching this and you feel stuck, like, I totally get it. I was there. I was where you were at. That's why I'm creating this, and that's why I created Bulletproof Dad. I built a system that works even when life gets too busy. And what happens is you don't need more information. You just need something that's going to work for you. You need structure. You need accountability. You need someone in your corner that's going to know how to make the tweaks of where you're at because they've been where you're at. Too many guys nowadays have ChatGPT relationships, if you go that far into it. And a lot of people just choose to become the guy that sits on the sidelines. They think that they can't make it because they've tried and failed and tried and failed. But it's always that next time that you try and succeed that you start to win. A good buddy of mine, Uncle Rami, if you haven't seen him, definitely check him out. But he says you're a loser until you're not. And that's exactly how it was for 33 years of my life. Every year I kept feeling like it was, okay, next Monday, we're going to get it right. Laying in bed 3 a.m. like, okay, this is what I need to do today to do this, 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 to get this, this, this. But it never came, right? I would go balls to the wall and then I'd fall off again. And then I'd be like, okay, all right, all right. Next Monday, we're going to do this, this, this. It happened for 33 years until it finally clicked. I need to do this to get this result. Now, if you choose the right people to be around, they can get you from point A to point Z a lot faster than you can by yourself. They've been through the struggle. They know what to do. And now it's those minor tweaks that you didn't think about that push you over that edge, that get you there a little bit quicker, right? And that's the great thing about finding people, finding your tribe, if you will, or just people that you look up to and reach out to them, ask a question. You know, you have to stop thinking that these people are so high up on a pedestal that you can never become them. They're just people, right? Everyone is the same. We all go through the same thing. We all scroll on our phone when we go to the bathroom. There's nothing different about us. You're just scared because you've failed and failed. So you need to get out of that mindset that you can't do it. Losing weight is easy, I promise. Now that I've done it, I say it, right? It's so easy that all we did was overcomplicate it all the time because we just weren't focused enough on the basics, on the simple things to get it right. And we kept jumping around, right? Let me try keto. oh man, okay, keto's not working. Let me try Whole 30. Whole 30 might do it, you know. Or you want to go super high protein. Let me get a 50 ingredient protein Pop Tart that doesn't taste like anything because it's just toasted bread with jelly inside of it and protein powder. But somehow that's supposed to be great and delicious, and you're going to lose a lot of weight on it. But then if it tastes bad, you just wasted, $110 on 50 products, and now you got to kind of eat it and live through it. I did that. I did that through COVID. That was something that we tried out. We tested. Made a high protein pho, and it was the nastiest thing I ever tasted when we could have went down the road and spent $10 and got a giant bucket of pho. But we decided to spend $75 on star anise and didn't work out very well. So you have to start making things as easy as possible for you that are easy to implement daily. If you want to start losing weight, what's one thing that you could change today that's going to make it easier for you tomorrow? Is it getting outside and going for a walk on your lunch break? Bro, right there. If you got an hour and you can go on a walk, you could probably get 2 miles in, 5,000 steps, more than you usually get. You do that, it compounds over time. You'll start losing weight. You'll start seeing results. And then you just add another little tweak on it. Okay, hey, let me go a little bit faster. Let me go a little bit further. Let me do some more before the family wakes up or when everyone goes to bed, when I have some time. A good thing I did was really I wanted to put on a couple episodes of something. I'd watch 2 episodes of Breaking Bad, and that would give me, 10,000 steps. It's all about building the man that you want to be and becoming that man by any means necessary. No one is going to change your life for you. I can sit here and talk to you all day long. You can watch 15, 20 different videos that I post or put out. We can talk all day. But if there's no implementation, then what's the point, right? You're just going to get tired of it eventually. Keep saying the same things over and over. Then you'll go talk to the next guy. And it's the same cycle repeated over and over. But if you're really ready for a change and you want to actually do something with your life and stop waiting for next Monday, let me know. I'll help you out. I'll do my best. Do what I can. Still got a little bit of this cigar left, so we can keep rolling. We can keep talking. One thing I also really notice is if you don't have standards for yourself, every day becomes a negotiation. You're fighting between, should I go to the gym? When you know you should, or should I just stay home, relax, watch the next episode of The Pit with the wife and not do anything? And then feel bad because I didn't do anything, right? You burn too much energy trying to decide something than just actually executing. When you have standards, there's no negotiation. You train, you eat right, you do what you're supposed to, you make the correct decisions. Your standards are going to eliminate the excuses before they even start to come up in your head. Once you let the standard drop, then it's a constant battle just to get it back up there. If you put things on autopilot that you know you're supposed to do, that standard's always going to be here. Even on your worst day, you're hitting 10, 15,000 steps. You're doing better than you ever were before because that standard is still there. You're still meeting that baseline. What is it? If you ever watch Suits, he's like, Harvey Specter sitting there talking to him. He's like, life is like this. I like this. That's how you have to be in your mind. You have to want better for you, for your family, for your friends, for the people that you impact, right? This isn't just about getting on camera and talking and trying to make money and trying to sell you this or try to sell you that. You have to genuinely want to help someone, and you have to lead with compassion. You have to lead from a place of love and actually be excited to help people out. It could take 5 years. Bulletproof Dad could be on here posting every single day, never doing anything. But if I got one person in my corner that I've helped that says, hey man, you did this, I saw this thing that you did and I did this and it actually helped me, I'm golden. I'm golden. Life is great. I have 2 kids. I want another one. We want 3, right? We got beautiful sunny day. We're chilling with a cigar. It's not like I need this to survive or to become somebody, right? I'm already somebody in all of my friends' lives, my family's life, my life, right? But if you don't think you're somebody, then you never will be. You have to become a better person for yourself. Quit sitting on the sidelines, start playing the game that you're meant to play. Every time that you break your standards, you're going to be weakening your identity. You don't trust yourself anymore to follow through. You don't think you can do it because it hasn't been done. All it takes is for you to break through, for you to hit that first checkpoint, and then it's off. It's like that snowball down a hill, right? It just keeps getting bigger and better. And that's what happens. I really swear I thought I had to lose 25 pounds. I'd be a solid 200 ripped up, but 9 months later I was 142 pounds. I never weighed that like in high school freshman year. So I didn't think I'd have to get there, but that's exactly what it took. It took just me keep going and going and going and going until I reached the goal. And a lot of people nowadays, they don't stick with things long enough, right? We're brain rotted, like we're trained on our heads for that quick dopamine hit. But you have to look past that, dig deeper to actually keep going, to keep building on getting better, keep building on that end goal. Time is not going to wait for you to catch up. Oh, all right. Hey, he's trying to get a six pack, guys. Let's just chill out until he gets it. It's not going to wait. It's going to pass regardless. So if you aren't doing something now, you're just going to miss the boat, and you're going to keep missing the boat, and time is still going to pass, and you're still going to wish that you had started earlier. I wish I could be 22 years old, shredded to the gills, telling you this now with, Corvette in the back and a Porsche on the other side and living my James Bond Aston Martin life. But no, I'm 34. I finally got a six pack and I got some pretty buff arms. I don't know if you can see, they're kind of buff, right? But it took that long for me to do that. I finally own a house, right? Like, things take time. But if you're never willing to give it that time, then you're not going to get what you want. And a lot of people put themselves in a box. They think, oh man, give me this 12-week coaching. We're going to get ripped. We're going to do this. Bro, I'm telling you, it's going to take longer than 12 weeks. It's going to take you like 6 months if you have a substantial amount of fat to lose. Now, if you're dialed in like crazy, probably take you 4. But you need to be on it every single day. And too many people burn out too fast because they've never had that high level of dedication or intestinal fortitude to actually do it. I really do credit my military time, being around a lot of high performers, to where I know what it takes to actually dig in there and really just get through the shit to get to the sugar, if you will. Sorry for cussing. And again, if you're watching this, like, you really don't need another video. You don't need another training app. You already know what to do. You need to train. You need to walk more. You need to eat right. You need to show up and be better. The problem isn't knowledge. It's just execution. And that's where I was. That's exactly what I needed to do to shift myself into the man that I became. I had to set non-negotiable standards and follow through with the things every single day to get where I wanted to be. And now that's what I help other dads do. I got my brother in there. I think he's down like 75 pounds right now. My dad's losing weight, feeling better. I have a couple friends at work, soldiers that I'm training, and other dads that I work with and coach that have substantial changes in their life because they just needed that shift and those tiny tweaks to get better on their daily life. And I don't give them a complicated plan. It's just small, actionable steps that they can implement today to change. Because the change is only going to work if it fits your life. Right now, you have two options. You can keep doing what you're doing, stay tired, stay stuck, keep grinding your gears, keep saying, I'll start next Monday, or you can actually take control back. If you're serious about becoming better, I'll help you do it. I love you guys. Cigar's coming to an end. Take care.